This is Unit 1, SLT15, and we're doing sequence of transformations. That just means different transformations in a row. So like a reflection, then a rotation, or a translation, then a reflection. A composition, oops, hold on, let me get this. Okay, a composition of transformations is when more than one transformation is performed on a figure. They can always be written as one rule. So a composition of transformations is also the same as a sequence of transformations. So here are some common compositions. A glide reflection is a reflection, and a translation. The translation is in a direction parallel to the line of reflection. So you can see that it reflected across, but then it went parallel with the line of reflection as the translation. Same here, it went translation and then reflection, but it was still parallel with the line of reflection. A second one is two reflections over parallel lines that are h units apart. So this is the same as a translation of 2 h units. So if you look here, we have this triangle being reflected over this line, which is h units away, and then it's reflected over this line. And that's the same as just translating the blue shape over and getting the same green shape. The third one is a composition of two reflections over lines that intersect at, this is supposed to be x degrees, is the same as rotation of 2x. The center of rotation is the intersection of the two lines of reflection. So that means this composition right here of two reflections over lines that intersect at x degrees. That means it reflected once this way, and then it reflected again this way, is the same as if we were to rotate it 2x degrees. So if you can see, it's just rotating it around however much this is, times 2. Now I'm going to reflect triangle ABC over the y-axis and then translate the image 8 units down. So A is at 2, 4. B is at 8, 8. And C is at 10, 2. Now if I reflect it over the y-axis, I will be here, here, and here. Ooh, those are not straight lines. Use a straight edge so your lines are straighter than mine. And now I'm translating that image 8 units down. Okay, so I just graphed it myself. I translated it down 8 units. And now my new points are A is, so we have to make sure this is A, B, and C. So now we have A prime, B prime, C prime. So my A prime is now -2, -4. B prime is -8, 0, and C prime is -10, -6. So if you see, we can actually make a rule that x xy went to negative x, and then y minus 8. The next one is reflecting a triangle ABC over y equals 3. So we have to look at the y-axis and go to where y equals 3. Oops. Which is right there, that line. Y equals 3. And we're reflecting it across that line first. So if A is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points away, then it's also going to be 7 down here. C is 1 away, and B is 3 away. So now we have this is A, B, and C. So now we have to reflect it over y equals negative 5. So if I try to reflect this over y equals negative 5, that's this line. And it will look like this is A prime. Can't reach this, so B prime is, or C prime is down here, and B prime is right here. Make sure you're using a straight edge so your lines are neater than mine. A was at 810, B was at 2.6, and C was at 10.4. Now A prime is at 8, negative 8. B prime is at 2, negative 10. And C prime is at 10, negative 12. So here I'm just going to say that the x's stayed the same. And that it basically just translated down about 18 units. So now it'll make it easier if we label this one A, B, C, D. The points of A are at negative 6, 8. B is at negative 2, 6. C is at negative 4, 2. And D is at negative 8, 4. And it wants us to translate it 6 units, then reflect it over the x-axis. So first we translate it 6 units to the right. So that translation, all the letters stayed in the same place, and we're reflecting it over the x-axis now. So this is the x-axis here. And if we reflect it over the x-axis, C would be here. So I'm going to call it C prime. This would be B prime. This would be D prime. And this would be A prime. So now A prime is, A prime is 0, negative 8, 4, negative 6, C prime is 2, negative 2, and D prime is negative 2, negative 4. So it looks like this xy went to x plus 6, negative y. Okay, Now I want you to complete the practice that's online for SLT 15. It's assigned on Google Classroom, and you'll get 5 classwork points for it. And then after that, you'll take the Go Formative.